Thank you guys so much for joining me for another episode of Keeping It Real with America's Supermom. I am excited about my next guest. I have Victoria here. We actually got connected, y'all, on Clubhouse yet again. I love Clubhouse. It is just a great way to meet great people such as Victoria. And we have so much in common from the high school we went to just our mindset on things. I have a daughter named Victoria. And we both are on the trail to meet Miss Oprah Winfrey and collaborate with her on something in the future. So y'all stay tuned because we'll be giving y'all updates along the way. But before we get into that, I want to give Victoria the opportunity to introduce herself to everybody.
Oh, well, see, that's the switch. You said you was going to introduce me. But that's okay. I got that. Y'all just stand around. Just stay around because as you could probably tell, there's going to be some laughter today with us. Yeah, because look, we're sisters in red. We both got our red lipstick on. We got it going on together. I'm Victoria Finch. I am the heart healer. I'm a master hypnotherapist, a global speaker. I am an advanced student of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and I'm also a master practitioner of emotional freedom techniques and thought-filled therapy, which is tapping. Basically, it's based on acupuncture, but it does help you rapidly release emotion and energy that you may be keeping in your body. And the wonderful thing about what I do is I can do it virtually. I'm also the founder of the Soul Sister Success Circle. We are a global sisterhood of dynamic women, and we are on mission to help heart-centered women show up fully, authentically female in a male-dominated world, accelerate into our highest potential, and shatter the glass ceiling because together we rise. I'm also on Clubhouse, which is where we met. There is a club, Soul Sister Success Circle, on Clubhouse, and I'd love to invite sisters and a few good men. We have men because we need our men that come and support us. I'm Victoria Finch, the heart healer.
I love that. Look, she packed a lot into that introduction because she is doing a lot. And when we met, you were in the room with Les Brown. So tell us how you're connected to Mr. Les Brown.
Yes. So the whole idea with that is Clubhouse strikes again. I stumbled into it, but being whom I am and believing in the divine timing of things, I believe there are no accidents. Back in 2017, this is kind of where it starts. I'd like to start there.
Yeah.
In 2017, I was sitting on the edge of my bed. I was depressed. I was despondent. Didn't care if I was going to wake up the next day. They say joy comes in the morning, but I was in a space at that time feeling so depressed and unloved that I had a bottle of pills in my hand. And I had these pills because I'd been in and out of depression most of my life. And when I had this bottle of pills in my hand and I took that bottle and I shook it in my hand and I got ready to put the pills to my mouth, something deep inside of me said, you were not created for this. This is not what I made you to be. And I could hear my family outside and they were just having their normal day. But this voice, I say it was a voice of God. I really do. You can call it the universe, the divine within, whatever you want to call it. I got up and at that point, I still didn't know what I was supposed to do, but I knew I was not made to be in the state of mind that I was in. So I got up, poured those pills out, never went on antidepressants before, went on a search. I started learning about Joe Dispenza, epigenetics, the power of the mind. I started learning about when Viktor Frankl, who was in a concentration camp, said the last of human freedoms is one's ability to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances. And then I knew at that point I had to become the heart healer. I knew it was a heart issue that I was suffering from. And if I could heal my heart, there had to be other people that were feeling. So I got out of that in the same way. I got out of that state of mind. And when I did, I had three things that I said I was going to do. One of those was to become an advanced student of Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you don't know who he is, go on YouTube. He does wonderful healing work. Just
Mhm.
look him up. Become his advanced student. The other thing was I discovered Les Brown, who spoke into me, didn't even know me, but he said something to me. When I heard him speak, he said, "There's greatness within you." And that voice that said, "You were not made for this." And then I heard Les Brown say, "It's possible." And when I heard those words, it was like life was spoken. So, number two, I would be on stage with Les Brown. And number three, I would be interviewed by Oprah Winfrey. I am that advanced student of, I am an advanced student of Dr. Joe Dispenza. I am now with Les Brown on Clubhouse. He was on Clubhouse. I went into the room. I waited 5 hours to
Mhm.
speak to him for 3 minutes.
Mhm.
He heard what I had to say and he invited me to speak in his summit. And now
Mhm.
he's friends. If I did an interview with him last week, I believe it was, and he's going to be on my show, the Soul Sister Success Circle Morning Show,
Ah.
on March 31st, this coming Wednesday. And he's going to let me interview him. And so he says, "I love you, and there's nothing you could do about it." So throughout all of this, we have now become friends.
That is amazing. And people connect with people. I have a friend of mine, we do a mental health panel, and she is getting ready to do a business venture with Les Brown. She has
Mm,
these pillows, and they're going to be joined together with that. So it's amazing how,
yes.
paths cross and how we're just a few people away from somebody.
Isn't
So
it?
I love the way that you took your story and turned it into a opportunity to help other people. What was it
Yes.
that really got you to that point? Because sometimes it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this for me, but how do you get to the point to where you're helping others?
Well, I got busy. When I went on that search to find me, I took some
Mhm.
a long time. And one of the things that helped me was hypnotherapy.
Mm.
And when I did a hypnotherapist session and it helped me, it was, well, I did a couple. I went with a couple of people. The
Mhm.
first one made me feel so much better. The second one, she said something so profound to me that I will never forget. She said, "Victoria, you were so busy feeling unloved, you missed all the love that was around you."
Wow.
And that was so profound for me when she said that.
Mhm.
And then she did a session with me, and I was forever changed. And I said, "Oh," I was just like, "Okay, this is what I was made for. I was made to heal. I was made to get people over the hump, like those who spoke life into me." And that's how I decided and became a master hypnotherapist. And because I tend to be one of those overachievers, I couldn't just be a hypnotherapist. I had to take all the extra courses and all the extra learning.
I love that. It's like, you get obsessed with the self development. I mean, I've been there, done that. And it's like wherever I can go to help people because it's a part of therapy for yourself as well, you
Yes,
know?
yes, yes.
So, as you work with other people, what would be some advice that you would give them? Because there's a lot of people that are in that space of feeling like there is no hope. Their job has ended, or, they've lost family members. Just so much going on right now with this
Yeah,
pandemic and the aftermath. So,
yes,
what
yes.
advice would you give to somebody who's watching that is in that place of darkness?
Yes, yes. I would say to them that your outside circumstances is not your destination. You, like me, were not made for this. We were not made to be anxious and afraid. We were not made to be angry. We were not made that. And we cannot change our circumstances until we change ourselves. And the beginning of that is self forgiveness. I had to forgive myself for the things I said, the things I've done, and self forgiveness. You have to forgive yourself and know that what you something else happened during that time. The day after I had that pill bottle in my hand, I got a call from a man in Africa. I had never known him before. And what he said to me was this: Victoria, you don't know me, but I know you. I have been following you on social media for the last 2 years. And you, with your positivity, has gotten me through so much over the last couple of years. And I want you to know that you are a soldier and march on. And anyone that's listening to my voice right now, I want you to know that what you think is normal is inspiring someone else. You don't know who's watching you. Just imagine if I had done what I wanted to do in that moment, what that would have done to my children, what legacy would I left. And I
Mhm.
just want to say, if you're in that place, know that just like Viktor Frankl, who was in that concentration camp, when he said the last of human freedoms is one ability to choose your attitude. You can choose your attitude no matter what situation you're in. And I would say, choose love, choose forgiveness of self, and be grateful that you are here because somebody needs you, whether you know it or not.
I love that. And, I love the way that you were on this mission and taking action and finding the Viktor Frankl, the Joe Dispenza, the Les Brown, because so often people feel like, well, I just want a better life. I just want things to change. And they get in this state of feeling like because they want something, that's all that there is to do. So, talk to us about the steps that you would tell somebody with taking the action to uh, do the work, so to speak.
First thing you got to do is you got to shut out the noise. I know, and sometimes it's difficult. When I was a mother of three children, I had to go to the bathroom, and sometimes they'd follow me to the bathroom. That's just what happens when you're a mom. And I know you know that as well. But
Absolutely.
you've got to find that quiet space, that time, even if it means waking up 20 minutes early, 10 minutes, an hour early. You got to find that time where it's just you. When we take a trip on an airplane, what are we told? Put on your oxygen mask first. I encourage you, you've got to take care of you first. The time is there. You've got the same 24 hours as everybody else does. If you got to wake up 10 minutes, like I said early, that's where it starts. You've got to find the time. For me, I took off for 2 weeks and went to my sister's because I knew I could be there and I knew no one would bother me. And she had a spare bedroom. You got to find that time for yourself so that you can reflect. Gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. Find something to be grateful for. There's something there, even if it's the fact that you can put your feet on the ground, if it's the fact that you can turn a light switch on and lights come on. There is always something. It doesn't have to be grandiose, but step one is getting and taking care of you.
Mm, I love that. So, we fast forward to hypnotherapy and now tapping. And, for many people, this may be a foreign term, because so often when we hear about depression, anxiety, stress, it's something that's actively talked about, but the real conversation never comes up. It's a passing, mention. So for people who talk to them about the importance of pursuing different avenues outside of just calling a friend or something like that to kind of help them go on a journey to recovering or overcoming some of these challenges.
Yes, yes. You have to be open. That's what emotional freedom does. It freeze your emotion. And what we tend to do is we tend to suppress. We don't want to talk about it. We want to hide. I know me, I became a workaholic. I became a high achiever. That way I didn't have to deal with the things that were what I was feeling. And we have to learn that it's okay to feel. Feel what you feel. If you're angry, feel angry. It's okay. Just don't go out and harm somebody because you're angry. It's your action. And once you can learn that it's okay to feel and nobody has the right to tell you how to feel,
Mm,
and you stand in that power, that helps a lot. As far as seeking, it's there. It's just like when people say, I don't have any money. There's a bank on almost every corner in every city. If you're out down the street, somebody's got the money. It just needs, the only difference is that it's coming to you and you have to claim it. So you have to claim health.
Mm,
You have to claim prosperity. You have to claim wealth. You have to claim the things that are not as if they are. And as far as seeking help, don't let anybody limit you. Les Brown says someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. Don't let people tell you, oh, don't do that. That's woo woo. Don't do. If you need help, seek help. If it's from a medical professional, if it's from a helping practitioner or someone like me, seek the help. It's there. There are suicide hotline. There are things you can do. The help is there. But it starts with you. It starts with you saying, I forgive myself. I am worthy and I need help.
I love that. And, and talk to us about how, you know, when you're claiming things,
Mhm.
and calling those things that are not as though they are, so to speak, the whole thing with faith. I mean, I definitely concur with all of that,
Mhm.
that what you need appears and the whole process of your circle changing, so talk to us about what that looked like for you because so many people think, well, I have my family. I can't really change because my family's used to me being this way or that way. So talk to us about how that transition takes place as you
Yeah,
evolve.
elevation requires separation. Now, I'm not trying to push my religion on anybody, but if you think about Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, they had to leave their hometowns. They couldn't stick around because people knew them, and people are like, even that Jesus of Nazareth, we know him. He had to leave. He told his disciples, "Come with me." They had to leave, and sometimes you got to leave some folks behind because not everyone that comes into your life is supposed to stay in your life. And we have to reach a point to where we have to understand that people. I used to have this sign at my door. I am chuckling because people used to laugh, and it said, "Everyone that enters into my home blesses it. Some by leaving and some by staying."
I love that. That's good. That's good. Okay. So I love that. Just got to be open to the new things because so often, I love this saying about you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that got you there.
That's right.
You
That's
have to
right.
change, you got to elevate, you got to do whatever to get some distance from that so you can look at things differently or be different or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
So, explain to us the concept of tapping.
Tapping.
Tapping, yeah.
Oh, emotional. Yeah. So it's based on acupuncture, and
Oh, okay.
there are certain areas in your body that if you tap on, it releases energy. So we have something in our body called meridian systems. The meridian
Okay.
system has energy that flows throughout our body. You may have heard it called chi before,
Hmm.
and it's just your life force, your energy. And what happens is when we have dis-ease, a disease or discomfort, it's because there's a blockage there of the energy. It's, imagine, if you will, there's two ways you can look at this. We have positive and negative energy. If you take batteries and you put them in backwards, they won't work because it's not flowing properly, right?
Okay.
The other way to look at this is think of a stream that's flowing, and you
Hmm.
start putting stuff in the stream, and now it doesn't flow as easy, and then eventually if you keep polluting that stream, it's going to stop flowing. And
Hmm.
that's what happens to us when we have fear, anxiety, when we have depression. You can go to a doctor, obviously, and make sure, because that you need to talk to a medical professional. But it's a
Hmm.
lot of times it's just energy that's not flowing. So what emotional freedom techniques is, back in the 80s, I believe it was Callahan. I always forget his name, but he came up with a system that said we don't necessarily need to put 150 needles in people. there are certain points that you can tap on, and what this is a karate chop, the karate, which is where I'm tapping now. But there are certain places that you can tap on the body, and you can get that energy to flow, and it's really amazing. I really love doing it because, like yesterday, I was talking to my assistant, and she wasn't feeling well. Her throat was hurting, and I've never used emotional freedom technique with her because she's new. And I was like, okay, so your throat's hurting. And I said, yeah. So I had her rate it. And then I said, okay, let's start the tapping. And she started at about a 5 or 6 in the scratchiness. And by the time we're done, she's like looking around. She's like, how did you do that? And it's just a matter of releasing that energy.
That's awesome. So
Yeah.
how long does it you so releasing session takes like how long?
10, 15 minutes.
This
It's
is
it's
awesome.
very fast. Now the
That's
thing
good.
is that sometimes it may take longer, and we may have to have multiple sessions because when we have things going on in our lives, it's like a table. Imagine a table with a bunch of legs. So maybe sometimes we got to find that one thing that's going to topple the table. For instance, I was working with one client, and she was going through a divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And she just, even though she wanted to do the divorce, she just couldn't get over her ex-husband, but she knew it was the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked with her because at first she thought she was becoming depressed because she wasn't married anymore and all the things she'd been taught about being married. And we tapped, and nothing was really budging. And then she'd feel a little better, but not too much. But even if you go down, like if you scale 1 to 10 on how bad you're feeling and you get down to 9, that's progress. And she was at like an 11, and she was not budging. We got her to about an 8. She would not budge. And I got to speaking with her, and it turned out that it wasn't the depression, it wasn't that, it was the guilt that she thought she could have done more. And once we
Mm.
were able to get to that emotion, we tapped on that. We got stuck at 5. We talked a little longer, and then it was just like I felt like he betrayed me.
Mm.
Then we kept knocking down those legs out from the table, and eventually we got to the point to where she's like, I can't believe it. I went to my neighbors and I had such a good time, and I'm my own self again.
Awesome.
So it's very rapid. The work I do is very fast. Whether it's hypnotherapy, I don't always use hypnotherapy. I don't always use tapping, but 3 to 4 sessions, and it's life changing,
That is
and
awesome.
it's permanent.
Yeah, I love that. And I think that a lot of people, I hope y'all are listening, taking notes. This is a great thing to be mindful of because so many people are in this dark space. And, we hide behind masks about how we think that, we have it all together or we're hiding, the uncomfortable conversation from other people. But it's really doing damage to us
Yeah.
inside, even though we feel like we are showing the good side, so to speak. It's like taking a picture and only using a certain filter so it always comes out right. So I love this conversation because I think that it's very informative for those that are watching to be able to explore and get out of your comfort zone and explore different options for relieving that pain and things like that. So talk to us about Soul Sister.
Yes, the Soul Sister Success Circle. Part
Mm-hmm.
of when I came out of my state of depression and despondency, even though I had this really strong support system,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there was something missing. We talked earlier about getting away, finding space. What I realized is that even when you have an intimate partner, there are some things that you just can't share, even though they're supportive of you. I mean, they support everything you do, but there's something that's missing. And about 2 years ago, I was given the word connection. And when I say given, I will explain that. I get what I call downloads, and I call it God speaking. I call it the divine within, and I get these downloads, and I don't always know what they mean, but I have learned that if I'm obedient to them, and I will tell anyone, you have something in you, and when you hear that voice, believe it, because that is your true voice. So I work with my clients on heart and mind coherence, because your mind will lie to you. It will tell you all kinds of
Mhm.
stuff, but your heart never lies. That gut feeling will never lie to you. And that's what I spend a lot of time in my coaching practice, is making sure that you have that coherence between your heart and your mind. Back to the Soul Sisters. What I
Mhm.
realized is that I really didn't have anyone, I didn't have that bestie, someone that I could go to, because again, going to my sister who knows me, who's my best friend in the whole wide world, going to my kids, going to, you know, even a mate, it just wasn't the same. There's something really powerful about women when we come together to uplift, empower, and inspire each other. There's a true transformation. There are things that only we get, that we only understand as women, as best friends. And that's where the Soul Sister Success Circle comes from. One of the things we talk a lot about in the circle are elephants. It's a matriarchal society, and what elephants will do is when one of their herd members, or when there's a baby, they form this circle and they protect them. It's like you are surrounded in every way by love and help and inspiration. And when the Soul Sister Success Circle came to me and I decided to move forward to, we have changed so many lives, so many lives. And when you get into that dark space, and I was talking to someone yesterday who has a husband that just adores her, anything she wants. And she's part of the circle. And she's like, I have to be with you ladies because it is so different being around you guys than it is my husband who loves me. There's just some certain conversations that we get. And what I'm learning is this is very energetic, because the women that I am drawing to the circle, they all have a servant's heart. And if you go to our show on Clubhouse, our morning show, Soul Sister Success Circle morning show, you will hear woman after woman after woman say things like, "This is my multivitamins." We have people, that women that come on the show from India, from Bangladesh, from Egypt, from Australia, all over the world. I'm on the East Coast. I have women that wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning on the West Coast just so they can be part of the show. We shed tears, and sisters get on that stage on Clubhouse. Let me explain Clubhouse first of all. Clubhouse is an app. If you have an iPhone, it is a voice app where you talk. And we call it a stage because women can come up and talk, and they're sisters in my case. And we have so many sisters that come up out and just pour their hearts out. They are able to say things. It's a safe space that they can't say to anyone else. There have women who have been molested that has never had the strength to talk about it, but come on that stage, and we just pour into. And I'm aware I might cry, but we just pour into her and just the love that she receives. And then there are experts that are part that work with the sister outside. So it's not just that 2 hours Monday through Friday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is also what happens after, because sometimes we can have these wonderful it's kind of like going to church. When I was a kid, I was a pastor kid, right? We go to church and you have this experience, and then you go home, and you go home to the same old muck and mire that you left, and you have no support except come Sunday morning again. What we do in the sisterhood is we support you. We're all over the world, so we can support you 24/7.
I love that. And, so my last question would be having the element of collaboration rather than competition. Because so
Yes.
often people are like, women can't do it. They're always catty and all this kind of stuff. So, what process do you do to allow that to take place to where the collaboration reigns, more so than any competition?
It's just the women we draw. I mean, I'm a master hypnotherapist, and I have sent 5 referrals for hypnotherapy. We just we just do. We just do. I can't even explain it. It is something so beyond me that I really feel that I'm just a vessel for this. because one of my prayers is always less of me and more of you. And I think it's just we just don't have that. And people say that it's interesting because we will have women that say, I was told never be around women because they're catty and backstabbing, but I don't feel that here. I only feel the energy of love and empowerment. But we did have one person come. We did have a sister come um, that wasn't polite. I'll put it that way. She wasn't polite. And I got to tell you, she had said something to me, and there were like three sisters that were basically told her, but they were so professional and they were kind about
Right.
it. And she left. And
Right.
so what I feel is happening is that we're drawing, because of the energy that we have, we're drawing those sisters that we know there's no competition and it's
Amen.
collaboration. And there are sisters that right now from our club that are working in their own rooms in the clubhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And sisters will go in that room to support the other sister. Just to
Amen.
people, even if we can't stay, we'll go ping people in the room and leave. It's just
Right.
one thing I say very often in the room is that there are so many people in this world that need so much help. There's not enough of us to do it.
Amen.
So
Amen.
you can't have that scarcity mindset. And also, I always say this is there is someone, and listen, those who are listening and watching this, there is someone that needs to hear your voice. They will only hear the words that you speak. I can say the exact same thing to them. It will not help them, it will not move them. But when you speak it, they will hear it and they will be uplifted from it. And I think that is why we collaborate, because we understand
I love that. That's
that.
awesome. That's beautiful. Well, this has just been a great conversation. I'm loving this. And what is the best way for the audience to get a hold of you?
Yes, the best way to get a hold of me is I am Victoria at justaskvictoria.com would be my email. On Instagram, you can find me at instagram.com, just ask Victoria. I make it real easy for you.
I love that.
Just Ask Victoria. You can find me on Facebook at Just Ask Victoria. So I'm very easy to find. And there's a story behind that. I'll make it really kind of quick is people often call me and ask me things that they'll just ask me something and they'll say, I know. And they'll say this when they call, I'll just ask Victoria. And that's where the Just Ask Victoria
Hmm.
came from.
Hmm.
So you can find me Facebook, Just Ask Victoria, Instagram, Just Ask Victoria. You can email me, Victoria at justaskvictoria.com.
Awesome. And so, what final words would you share with everybody today?
Yes. What I want you to know is that what you think is normal is inspiring someone else. I want you to continue to reach for all that you dream, be all that you can be, because there is greatness within you and you were made on purpose for a purpose, and your time is now.
Love it. Well, you guys, this has just been a phenomenal interview. If anything Victoria said resonated with you, don't wait another day. Reach out to her because this is something that's important. Your voice needs to be heard. You need to be walking in peace and love and joy and all the good things that are out there waiting for you. So now is the time. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. We'll be sure that Victoria gets them. But in the meantime, Victoria, thank you so much for coming
Thank you
by,
for having me. And
sharing
you're
some.
going to be on my show, right?
Yes, I'm excited. I'm excited.
I'm
Yes.
excited too.
So
We're going to
I,
be
I
so happy to
consider
have
it an
you.
honor, really, because I love what you said. There's room for everybody. I summarize it. There's room for everybody at the table, right?
There is. That's
You
right.
can't have too much of different dishes, right? Because they're all made different.
That's
I
right.
always use the analogy of a Thanksgiving meal. So I may make macaroni and cheese different than the next person. So let's just bring what we got and turn it into a feast.
Hey, at our table, we just keep adding leaves to it. We just keep expanding.
Amen.
If we have to
Amen.
get another table, we'll get another table and attach it.
Exactly. Exactly. So true. So,
Yeah.
well, we guys just want to thank all of you guys for joining us today for this episode. If something resonated with you, feel free to reach out to Victoria or share it. Just share the video with somebody. It may just really open their eyes to just having a new vision, having a new purpose, having hope in their lives today. So we thank you all for watching, and we will see you all on the next episode. Bye
Thank
for
you for
now.
having me. Bye.
You are welcome.